It's amazing how a single realization can make everything we thought we knew feel so different, shifting the space between us like a breeze moving through a still room. In every relationship, there's a moment when the silence between you and me holds more meaning than words ever could. The heart often speaks louder than the mind when it realizes what it truly feels. And once it knows, everything between us changes. There's a point when the past fades into the background, and the future feels like it's made from the very thoughts and feelings we're sharing right now. In this moment, what I've realized is that nothing matters more than understanding the unspoken thoughts between us. The truth is, the space between us has always been filled with untold feelings, and now I see everything differently. Realization is a shift in perception, a way of seeing our connection from a whole new angle that makes all previous misunderstandings vanish. It's not about what has happened, but what we now understand in the depths of our hearts, in the quiet space between us. Sometimes we find clarity not in what is said, but in what we finally understand without uttering a word. The realization came to me like a gentle wave washing away everything I once thought I knew about us. Everything I thought I understood about our connection shifted when I realized that it wasn't about us fighting the tide, but learning to flow with it. Our thoughts, our feelings, they intertwine in ways we often miss, and when we realize how deeply they connect, everything changes. In the midst of confusion, clarity arrives quietly, revealing a new truth that changes the way we see each other forever. What we feel often speaks louder than what we know, and when I understood the depth of what we share, everything between us felt new. There's an unspoken understanding that we often miss, but once you see it, it changes how you feel about everything around you. The space between us, once so uncertain, now feels full of possibilities as I finally see things for what they truly are. The realization is simple yet profound. What we have is more than words, more than actions. It's the energy we create between us. There's a shift in the air when you realize that everything you thought about someone is just a fraction of the story you're about to live together. When clarity arrives, it doesn't just change your thoughts, it transforms how you feel about everything around you. Understanding each other in ways we never expected gives the space between us a depth we couldn't have anticipated. It's the quiet realization that makes everything between us fall into place, aligning our hearts in ways we never imagined. Realizing how much we've always meant to each other changes everything about the space we occupy, both together and apart. The moment we realize what was hidden between us is the moment the air between us feels different, more charged, more alive. What I've realized has shifted my entire perspective, not just on you, but on everything about us. Sometimes the biggest changes in a relationship come from the smallest realizations. It's the quiet ones that matter most. There's something in the space between us that words cannot describe. Only the shift in understanding can reveal it. What changes everything is realizing that the feelings we share are the truest part of our connection, not bound by time or distance. The space between us has always been filled with untold feelings. Now I see it differently, and everything feels more alive. Realization isn't just an understanding of the mind, it's a shift in the heart that changes up everything about the way we relate. I used to think I understood you, but what I've realized now is that what truly matters is how deeply we understand each other's hearts. It's a quiet shift in awareness, realizing how deeply we've always felt connected. And that changes everything. What changes is not the situation, but the way I see it. The realization alters my feelings in ways I couldn't have imagined. I thought I knew everything about what was between us, but this realization makes me see it in a whole new light. The most profound changes come not from dramatic moments, but from the quiet realizations that shift everything we thought we knew. When the mind catches up with the heart, everything changes because that's when true understanding blossoms. It's amazing how something so small can shift the dynamic of everything between us. This realization is everything. The realization is the turning point, the moment everything I thought I understood about you, about us, finally makes sense. There's a depth to this connection I never fully grasped until now. What I realized changes everything between us.